So this is the topic, and they have two different questions here. So remember, if they have anything like this, that means this and this, both of them are equally important, then you have to address both of them. Okay. Okay. So here, first we need to create an introduction. So introduction normally should address all these key points. So this is our heading. Okay. So in this heading, which words are the most common words and very important? Which think that? So in some countries, more and more people are becoming interested in finding out about the history of the house or building they live in. So which one do you think would be most important keyword? And what are the other keywords that we can highlight?
Like building the building.
Building, yes. Or building they live in.
Yeah.
We can include house as well because it's here houses. Okay, so building or houses. And then what are the other words that you can?
Like history.
History, yes. History as well.
Interested.
Interested, yes. How about countries and people? We can highlight them as well, right? So these are some of the keywords. Okay, so what we do in introduction, when we do the introduction, okay, so introduction, we create three basic lines. So first we create a statement. Okay, so it's a kind of general statement, general in nature. And the second is the thesis statement. Okay, so the general statement is one or two keywords will combine and create a sentence with it. So we thought that housing or building would be very important here. So create a simple sentence with housing or building, and we'll write it here. And it would be our introductory first line.
Can we say building and houses are very important factor of people's life or livelihood?
Yeah, that's a great sentence. Okay, so the house or buildings are a great part of people's lives or livelihood. Okay, so let's say this, people's lives. Okay, now the thesis statement, whatever it is, it's like thesis statement is kind of combining all these keywords or most of the keywords. Okay. Okay, so now if we combine these keywords, countries, people, so people, building houses, we have combined some of these things. So now we add country, interest, and people or something like this. So we can combine them and create a complex sentence. So you can say something, it's like a combine. So you already emphasized that this is a very important part, is an important part. So is an important part and part of people's lives. So you can say this is why
In most countries, people are having more interest in the history of the house or building they
all
live in.
are interested
Yeah, or interested.
in the history of the houses. Okay. So now this line is more or less kind of copy of many things. Okay. So that's why we can change some of these words. So then it will become a unique sentence. So most countries. So you can say in many parts of the world, okay.
Yeah.
So here they're saying people. So how we can replace people, or we can leave these people here. People are interested. So interested. So people are interested. So here interest we can change it. People are keen instead of interest. In the history of houses, instead of houses we can say in the history of their habitat. Let's say habitat. Or their dwellings. See of the what we can say, houses, dwellings, buildings, structures. History of their living places. Living places. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now this our second sentence is done. Now the third sentence should be a guiding sentence. A guiding sentence. So guiding sentence sometime can be your opinion or like a neutral statement. So here you'll say that now I will discuss, or now I will elaborate the reasons, elaborate the reasons behind it, and show the ways how people can research about it.
It's 93 words already.
Reasons. REASON. Reasons. Okay. Okay. So yes. So 93 words. It's not going to be 93 words like this. So our introduction would be, when we create the introduction. So introduction would be just only this.
This one, yeah. Yeah.
So when we create our introduction, so it becomes something like this. So now this is our introduction. So it's only 49 words, you see. So about it. Okay. So our introduction is done. So now, after the introduction, we need to analyze these things. So you can do some brainstorming about this. What are the reasons behind this? And how people can research. So let's analyze first about reasons behind this. Reasons. So let's find reasons. Why people are like interested about the history of housing and building they live in. Yeah. Can you give one or two ideas, like what?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For example, can I put ideas from my background? Like
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
where I come from, people may
Yeah.
decide to research the house where they live in to know the history of the house, if it's diabolical or spiritual or
Yeah. You
stuff.
can add your own cultural background as well. It's remember, it's not a like a test of this this thing objectively. It's a language test. That means how you can represent your thoughts. It's not about like what's the strong point here. So we don't have to really analyze from a historical point of view. We're not thinking like historian, or we're not archaeologists. We are not like analyzing like all the buildings like archaeologists, you know. So here just general thoughts. Yeah, you talk about this. This is the buildings are part of our culture and heritage sometime, yes. So it's part of culture. So part of culture, you can say. So in many countries, it is a part of culture. Like you own a house and you hand it over to your children and grandchildren. This way, it's like part of house, and it represents our cultural heritage. So it's part of culture, like in many countries. So these buildings play an important role in their personal or family identity, or like social identity in many cultures. So you can say that, yeah. So this can be one reason, okay, part of culture. So we got 1 point. So we need to have 2 or 3 points. No need to write more than 3 points, otherwise it's going to be very big. So
10 minutes. I'll be with you. 10 minutes.
so let's
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm listening, sir. Sorry.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So this is one part, like part of culture, you said. Another reason could be like people nowadays, you know, they are studying about the past impacts, the people's livelihood, and even some of the scientists, they are researching how the people built different things in eco-friendly way, you know, like not disturbing the environment. We are very aware of like carbon emission, our carbon footprint, this and that. So uh, earlier times, people had buildings built with like friendly materials. You know, in many countries, they built buildings with muds and bricks that was not harmful for the environment. Nowadays, we use harmful material. So some of them for the scientific from point of view, or like environmental point of view, many people are like studying buildings. Yeah, that can be done as well. So first one is like part of culture. Another can be like, yeah, for the scientific and environmental perspective, scientific reason, the reasons. Okay, so let's talk to this, two of these. Okay, so how to present them? So first, to present the ideas. So first we present the ideas, like buildings were part of national heritage for
Okay. Please, can you give me 5 minutes? I want to get to the toilet.
Okay, no problem. All good.
Just 5 minutes. I'll be back.
All,
Thank you.
no worries.
All right. Thank you. I'm back. Hello. 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 Sorry.
Okay, all good. So you're back.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, buildings were part of our national heritage, for many years, or for many centuries, you can say. Centuries. Okay. So we just put the idea first, and then we explain. Like, we can give example, we can explain the line, and then can give the example. It depends on like how complex you're going to write the sentence. So in most cases, remember, so in most cases, what we need is just we need to create something here, variety of sentence structure. So simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence. Okay. So you see, this is like a very big sentence, but it's a simple sentence. You see, it's not a complex sentence. Okay.
Yes.
And now we'll write something, elaborate these ideas, like how this national heritage. So like we can give, for example, I was raised, building represent social status and family identity. And for this reason, knowing the history of the building is essential. Okay, so it's just I'm sharing some of the personal experience.
Yeah.
Okay. And also we can say, furthermore, modern modern technology like internet, blogging, and video blogging, encouraging our young people to put more interest on these old buildings as well. Okay, so we just attach some of our like people here, like yes, why modern like young kids are now getting more interested about housing. So yeah, many of them are writing internet blogging, doing video blogging, that yeah, showing different things that we are doing this. So we are coming to a village which is like a middle-aged village. So this sort of thing they can say.
Yeah.
Buildings. Okay, so something like this. Okay, so this is our 1 point done. So here, if you see, the word count is, yeah, kind of 58. Okay, so now add more. So more lines, like you can say moreover, people nowadays are aware or are concerned about their carbon footprint or their environment, and studying the old buildings or historical buildings can give us significant insight in building eco-friendly structures in the future that will help us preserve the environment or surrounding environment. Okay.
Yep.
So this is another, you see, this sentence is like very long and some of the things are like eco-friendly. So just add some of the like word there.
Okay.
So preserve, you can even write conserve, conserve, change some of those things.
What is the difference between simple sentence and complex sentence and
Okay.
others?
Okay, so instead of going for difficult grammar things, remember,
Yeah.
in your sentence, try to add some of these forms. Like try to add and, what, and but, and what we have used here, that, which. Okay, so try to connect your sentence with these things.
Okay.
Okay, and automatically your sentence will become big. So you see here, people nowadays are concerned about their environment, and so we're adding in a connector, which can give us significant insight in building eco-friendly structures in the future. That again, we're using that. Okay.
Sorry. Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello. Who am I speaking with, please? No, it's not around. All right, thank you. Bye. All right, thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
No
I'm
problem.
in the office. That's why.
All good. No problem.
So the
So
phone is an office phone. I had to pick it
yeah.
up.
Okay. All good. All good. No problem.
All right.
So you see, like, yeah, we don't have to think about the difficult structure of the grammar here. So just create sentence with and, what, but, that, which automatically it will create a complex compound sentence. Okay. And when you write, try to change some of the words. Okay, so you see, like, environment we have used twice. So instead of environment, we can minimize this. We can preserve the surroundings. If you add s, it automatically becomes the environment or the surroundings. Yeah, preserve the surroundings, right?
So I should try to reduce like repetition of words or something.
Yeah. So redundant words, no need to write the same word over and over again. So if we can like avoid those things and add some of those new words, like we used here somewhere, like sustainable or something like that, the modern technology. So here we use internet blogging or video blogging. See, so eco-friendly structures. Okay. So now here we can give an example. For instance, so you can give one example. If possible, it would be better. So for instance, like, you can make it up. If there is no example at all, you can still make it up. Like, for instance, like what we are saying here. So people nowadays are concerned about environment, and studying their old buildings can give us significant insight. Eco-friendly structures in future that will help us preserve the surroundings. Okay, yeah. For
For example,
instance,
people
yeah,
don't want to use asbestos for their ceiling anymore because they believe it's dangerous to health and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So people do not use asbestos anymore. That causes health issues, and studying the old building materials. Now, this one was about kind of environment. So this one, health issue became like something like for us. So that's another point. So it's about like how people harming the building, I mean building harming the environment, but this old building can be like good. So we can say people use mud in uh, many Asian countries. Used to, so used to utilize mud in many Asian countries to build mega structures. and that inspired many architects or engineers, or many architects, let's say architects to design building with mud-like materials in, suppose, Indonesia. Okay, Indonesia. Okay, so we just make one example up. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all about, like, yeah. So here we have written our first part. So it's about, oh my God, 118 words.
Wow.
When you start writing, it's like getting bigger and bigger. Okay.
We are supposed to write 250.
Yeah, so it will be more than 250, you see. So now we have another part left. So how can people research this? So this is much easier. So nowadays it's very easy for people to research about the old buildings. You have internet, you also have the modern equipments to study different chemical labs. They can help you with this. Even sometime government, they are providing funds for this sort of research. So now let's come to this second part.
Yeah.
Okay. How people can research this, how people can research about the history of old buildings or housings. Okay, so okay, here we can write, okay, the advent of internet and computer made the research of old buildings and housings much more cost-effective and scientifically sound. Okay, or has made it a lot easier than ever before. So you can use easier language as well. Housing made it a lot easier than ever before. Okay. Any ordinary person with the help of his mobile device or computer can search the internet to learn many things about the old buildings without any expert knowledge. So now people can really study these things without being an expert. You don't have to be an expert to do this. Okay, so yeah, so I've been like writing these things. So now you create some sentence, like suppose how people can research this. So people can research this with the help of government aid and some NGOs, can say something like this. So what do you think? So let's write, you write one or two sentences using your idea and add these words into your sentence structure, it will automatically become a complex compound sentence. Okay, so suppose, okay, so let's write something about this, and you paste it in the chat box here in the chat, and I'll paste it in our writing sheet.
Here, right?
Yeah, yeah. So write it and send it to me in the chat box, or you can say it as well. I can write it for you. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, or you write, you just think and write, and then we'll discuss like how we can use. You can write a couple of simple sentences, and we can join them with and, what, that, which, you know. Even like we can add so that, something like this as well.
Can we just from here give example?
Yeah, you can give an example, of course.
Like saying, for example,
Yeah.
Government parastatals are always very useful in doing research about old buildings and houses. Like we can try and source information from like a Ministry of Works and Housing, because they
Yeah, of
have
course.
all the details of all the houses and
Yeah.
the materials used for building those houses in their
Perfect.
record. So we
Yeah. Perfect. So now write it down.
okay.
Yeah. For instance, we can also get information about the history of houses and buildings from the government Ministry of Works and Housing, because they always keep information about houses in their records. Yeah, perfect. So you see, you use because. So because is connecting the other sentences. It has become a complex sentence automatically as well. Oh, that's good. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so our two ideas also good. So this here, if we add, it's about like 82 words. Okay. So if we count the words so far, so from our introduction to this, if we count the words, let's see how many we have. Okay, 249 already, you see?
Wow.
250 is like not a big deal. So yeah, so now we have addressed both the issues. Now let's go to in conclusion. So like in conclusion, so now in conclusion, you can write 2 to 3 sentences. You can write 2 sentences as well. So in conclusion, it's like a general overview and your opinion.
Okay.
Or you can say neutral statement again. So in conclusion, so studying old buildings can give us some benefits, as these helps us to learn the history and helps us to save the environment, and at the same time can help us to save the or save our locality. So that sounds much better.
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, we should encourage our young people to learn more about these things, or more about the historical architecture, historical architecture, as well as their local houses. Okay,
Yep.
so that's good. So we're done.